We're back. Sorry. I think so. Some kind of technical difficulties. We might have been hacked. Not sure what happened there. Had to switch to one camera deal here. But anyways, we're back with the Canipe guys. In the podcast, it'll make more sense. But anyways, we already did the intro, but we'll just do another brief one. We got Mr. Dexter Canipe, senior and junior, here today. Both of them came to visit us. They are racing against each other July the 24th at Hickory Motor Speedway.
First time ever racing against each other?
First time ever.
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Well, 99 we raced against each other, but it was a run what you brung. You took the car I run in limited all year. You raced it, and I think I showed up at the racetrack, and somebody said, "You want to drive mine?" I drove and then Matt McCall.
So your daddy won?
No, Robin Harris won.
Yeah, Robin Harris come with
it was a run what you brung. You put a big old wing on it, put a big carburetor on it, and Matt McCall, that was his first. He used to run street stocks, right? And that was his first limited late model deal. He put a wall. I was driving some of these old.
Is it Hickory?
Yeah. Oh yeah. End of 1999.
And you start? That's about the time you started too.
98. Started 98. Yeah.
So you was a rookie. You was ready to take it to the pops, and you won the national championship in what year?
97.
97. I mean, it was Canipes were king back then. I mean, the late 90s. Or the years of the Canipes.
We're still king, but we're up in the grandstands now.
Yeah, well, somebody's got
grandstand king.
Not July 24th.
I probably need to be in the grandstand. Well, somebody's probably going to put me in the grandstand. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to all my competitors now. I really don't know what I'm doing out there.
I mean,
if I wreck you, I'm sorry.
I heard you was pretty quick.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Oh, he's already
don't let him lie.
Yeah, he's already went and tested.
I think he's trying to.
I told him I wasn't going to race my damn race car because he had my shit all. It was junk. And I said, I'm not. I got in his race car, drove like a Cadillac. I said, I'm not racing. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm not stupid. I go ahead. I work on both of them, so we're gonna go ahead and clear that up now.
So they're both your cars. They're both.
Oh,
well, one's mine and one's his.
But
okay.
I house.
Oh, so you're
turn
putting a
the wrenches
setup
on
in.
both of them.
Okay.
I said, if you don't put what's under yours under mine, we're not doing this. We're gonna call it off.
Last minute, pull the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
And you jump in his car.
Yeah.
I told him I was sorry. I think I had the gear in upside down.
See that? I mean, that's. I've been trying to get my dad to race against me for years. He's never going to do it.
You don't want to race against Rob, do you?
Yeah.
I really do. Just blades.
You want to run against the blade?
I do one time, but here was my deal. So, probably I had to have been maybe 15 when I was racing all year at Hickory. He finally agreed. He said, "Fine, that's fine." No, it was 17 when we built the new car, but the car wasn't. It was just a bare chassis. And he said, all right, I'll make you a deal. I'll race the car you ran all year last year, but you got to run that one, and I'm not touching it at all. And it was just a bare chassis. He said, you got to build it all the way up by yourself, no help, and I'll race you. He just
wanted another car built.
Yeah. I said, well, that's
Rob ain't stupid.
So that ain't fair at all. I said, you're definitely going to beat me. I said, I get my shit together, but it definitely ain't going to go fast. I mean, it might roll around the track, but he said, well, yeah, that's your deal.
So we had one hell opening there. We had technical difficulties. I was climbing underneath the table here.
Don't lie. You went to get another beer.
Rearranging things. Yeah, it was rough. But I'm going to try to stay on track a little bit. I actually wrote down. Look at this. See how organized we are.
Dang.
We're so organized that our show broke.
Yeah. The show, I can't control Elgato. Elgato can suck it. It's the worst technical company I've ever dealt with in my life other than the internal capture card. So that sucks. Anyways, moving on, I did write down a couple things, and one of those was, and we don't talk about cup racing much here, but Larson's last lap heartbreak at Pocono was pretty wild, and it got me to thinking, has that ever happened to either of y'all? Have you ever broke something and just slammed the fence and not won after leading, taking the white flag?
In 97, I had a lot of people to break in front of me. I'd be running 10th, and that would happen to the other. But as far as that goes, I don't think I've ever had that to happen.
I haven't. Limited, 09.
Other than Martinsville, I got mad at somebody up there, and they kind of jammed me in the wrong section, and I just went down the straightaway as fast as I could go because I said, I'm going to get them right here, and I missed and hit the wall.
Oh. So you just broke a head gasket. Yeah. You didn't really break anything.
Well, I had a left front tire flat. So I didn't know it.
Okay.
And when you run at Martinsville, I can see where Kyle Larson didn't know he had a flat till he hit the wall.
Yeah.
And if you're going down through there, you normally ain't got 10, 15 pounds of air in your tires anyway. You don't know if it don't have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that. So you said 09.
Yeah, I run a limited last lap coming to the checkered. Though Piercy's good wheels in limited, the rust buckets broke off, and In the wall we went.
Hey, he's got new wheels now.
Yeah,
Oh,
back
yeah.
in 09, they was
Yeah,
straight
those
from
are
the
pretty
junkyard.
rough. I remember those. Those had been out there since probably he won the national championship. I would say.
Yeah.
They might have been the wheels he
Yeah.
ran.
So we broke a wheel.
Yeah. So speaking of national championship, 1997
Yeah.
won the national championship, and back then you had to choose a racetrack to collect your points
Yes,
from, right?
that's
And
correct.
you went to Greenville Pickens for that.
I did. Yes.
So you won the track championship at Greenville Pickens and the national championship. Did you race many other tracks that year?
I
or
won
no?
a championship at Tri-County the same year.
Okay, so you won 2 track championships and the national championship.
Yeah, I think we ended up running 55 races that year at different tracks, like Tri-County, Greenville.
Lonesome
Didn't
Pine.
have to. Lonesome Pines, Motor Mile, Richmond, Martinsville. But we won like 32 races out of 55,
Wow.
which is a pretty good year.
So back then, did they? Oh yeah. Back then, did they do any kind of drops or anything? Was it your best tally or just total points, or how'd that work?
Best 18 out of 22. I won. I think I won 18 out of 22.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it had to be from that racetrack,
Greenville,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We went to Greenville because Hickory wasn't running. That's the only reason we went to Greenville, because Greenville started up like 3 to 4 weeks before Hickory did, and we had 3 cars sitting there. We just wanted to race.
Right.
So we just took off and we won the race. Come
So-
back. I said, hey, we just go back the next week.
Yeah.
Won the race again.
So before the season, you had no plans of running
Yeah,
for a national
that wasn't our
points?
plan. We just wanted to go race.
And then how long into the season did you figure out that you had a good shot to win
We
national
won like
championship?
10 in a row, and like, you know what? We might need to stay down here. This is probably going to work out.
Yeah, that'll do it. Got your name on the wall there.
Yeah.
You got your name on the front sign at Hickory,
Yeah.
and you got your name somewhere at Tri-County. I don't know, where do they put their track champions? They put it. You got
They
any
used to
cool-
put it on the out there at the concession stand as you go in
On
the
the
gate. but
wall, yeah.
I think it's gone now.
Oh.
You're even in the Hall of Fame down there
Where?
at the Charlotte.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Look
How
at
about
you.
that?
Yeah.
What
That and a quarter.
just a-
That right there gets you a cup of coffee.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what. So, Hall of Famer, Dexter Canipe Sr., you heard it
Only
here
reason I
first.
know that's because I detail cars for this one guy, Roger Green. He's like, I didn't know you was a Hall of Famer. I said, no, that's not me.
Oh
The
yeah.
only,
my
the only
dad.
reason he knows that is
Yeah.
because Junior leased the trophy and he's been collecting the money on it. You just
I said,
didn't
Dad, that's
know.
not my name.
I know that because I do it with my dad. I'm just kidding.
Rob's probably
I've never
down there
been so
too.
lucky as in races as he has.
I've been very fortunate.
Oh my God.
So,
His dad's a part of one of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Homestead.
Yeah.
So, in 1997, you won the national championship. 98, you said you started racing, right?
The very end, like 5 races to go at Tri-County.
So, what role did you play? How old was you when your dad won in 97?
I was 17.
So, were you
I never went.
never went?
It was too freaking hot in Greenville.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was curious about it.
I
wrote
did
that
go
down.
some. I did go some, but Greenville Pickens was a hot box.
So
It was
basically, he was
hot.
just a little shit stick.
Yeah.
I mean, you.
I put him off on Jeff Hagman
Yeah.
I did help Jeff Hackman. That's right.
Probably
Yeah.
learned some things from
Yeah.
Agnes.
Oh God.
in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Me
Me and Hagman went to the racetrack with just a air gauge and a torque wrench.
That's no joke. He would
He's
show
not-
up. He wouldn't even tie his car down. When he get ready to race, he just push up the trail and put it in gear. And
He's
he
not
goes,
lying.
It ain't going nowhere.
He never tied it down.
That guy, Jeff Hagman, I think everybody would agree that if you look in the dictionary of like full send,
Yeah.
Jeff Hagman.
It was so fun in '97 helping him.
Yeah.
And I never got lucky enough to really meet him. Well, I mean, I met him, but I never got to know him. And but all the stories from just people, because he hung out a lot with some people I know in Taylorsville that they would drag race with, and then all the racetrack stories and stuff. I mean, just a patch of hell.
Yeah.
Just a funny guy and very fast. And God rest his soul. That's a
Yeah.
tough guy to lose, man.
Yep.
One thing, you're talking about winning the national championship in '97, and then he started racing the next year. Did you continue to race?
I ran in '98 for Ted Courier.
No, '99.
Oh, was it '99?
You
Yeah,
ran
you're
you
right.
won a championship '98 at Hickory.
Yeah.
Still with G&G.
Yeah. So and I continued to race for 2 more years because I told him, I said I can't afford for both of us to race. One of us got to have to quit, and I seen where this was headed.
Well,
So that's the story of that. And I ran a couple of races like 2000, 2001, and I told Joe Collins, you remember him?
Name's familiar, yeah.
Yeah, he was over at NASCAR's late model stock, tall country guy, looked like the Marlboro man.
Yep.
I told him, I said it was like 120 cars there, I think, that week in Martinsville. I said, if I can make this race, that's all I want to do is make this race. I'll give you my helmet and my suit at the end of this race. You're on. I said, I'm done. He said, you're on. Well, he's dead now, so he can't come back unless he comes back to home. Yeah.
So later on, guys, we're gonna do a Q&A to ask plenty of questions. But I've seen one that I have written down. What did you run above late models? Did you run any Xfinity races? Well,
I ran a couple Bush races, what they call Bush, back in
Yeah.
what is it, 89 maybe?
It's still Bush.
This guy
86,
says
86, I believe.
Dexter raced in the Xfinity Series in '87. Question
It might have been
mark.
87.
So
Yeah.
'87 ran.
Yeah.
What? So what? Came of that?
Charlotte twice.
You went to
maybe.
Dover,
Dover,
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
You
and
took Tommy
Raceway
Houston's
Park.
backup car to
I was gonna say, what team was that for?
Jury Exchange on that.
Okay.
Oh.
Terry Shook.
Terry.
Back when you could
Shook.
race in the
Yeah.
Bush Series for
Yeah.
about
You know,
late model money nowadays.
That's a shame. Well, it definitely, I would say it cost. Well, yeah, nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely costed more than a late model back in the day. But that's just a shame that where we're at today, we don't have the ability to do that because that's why it was so entertaining. I mean, you could take a local guy and you had a locally owned race team could go compete at what was the second highest level in racing, which that kind of leads me into this. So back, in the late 90s, the car count, I guess, was probably good enough where you
Yeah,
about could have ran.
Well, we still had to, work the system a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But we had 18 cars.
Yeah.
But we normally had 20 to 22 cars every Saturday night. Yeah.
Was that pretty common across every track? I mean, I've seen
Yes.
videos of
Yes.
Dad in the late 80s. Even in the late 80s, it was a lot of cars too.
And back then, it was real racers. I mean, don't get me wrong, they race now,
Well, yeah,
but
it was everybody was working on their own
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's we've
Grown
talked,
men.
Yeah, we've talked about that on here too.
Yeah.
Well, the racing was better too. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a reason why the racing was better.
I
And,
call real racers like the Tommy Houston. That was the real racer. Got
Yeah.
out, worked
Oh, yeah.
on his own car.
yeah, there was
drove his own truck.
rental deals weren't even really a thing.
Hey, I ain't
of
mad
that.
at the rental deals. Don't get me wrong. There's
Oh, well,
decent money
yeah,
in
we're
that,
not-
but it's still, they're not
Yeah.
really real racers yet.
Well, we're not knocking that,
Yeah.
but I mean it's also a testament to
Yeah.
obviously where the sport has went over the last couple of years and the direction that it's been. But a lot of that's just because the prices went up.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what it is. Is the price of racing has went up.
Yeah,
We're in the late models right now is like a miniature Bush Series. Well, the
Yeah.
Cars Tour is a miniature Bush Series. Is all it is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's where they're at now.
Yeah.
If they ain't careful, they're gonna run themselves out of business.
it's going to keep getting more expensive.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, even the last 5 years.
Yeah.
The last 5 years when I first started racing the Cars Tour, made those couple starts in 16.
Yep.
And what it costs now, there's no way I could show up like I did even then.
No, if
and
you do it,
compete.
No.
yeah, if you do it right, you go to that Cars Tour race. The what is it? 276.
Yeah.
If you do it right, it's a $5,000
Yep.
Mhm.
minimum. Is what's it going to cost you? $5,000.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
It's
But the Cars Tour pays decent, but they don't. I mean, you don't get your $5,000 back unless you win. But they're the only one winner, and there's 20 really, really good drivers in
right.
there. I mean,
Yeah, winning a Cars Tour race
Yeah.
these days is comparable to winning. I would say is more prestigious. Maybe not on a national scale or on Twitter, but man to man and driver to driver, it's more prestigious, and I feel like you've accomplished way more than winning a truck race or even an Xfinity race
Oh, yeah.
nowadays. Not to say everybody would trade winning a Cars Tour race for a Xfinity race or vice versa, but I feel like most people that would be on this podcast or anybody we talk to in the area would say, yeah, I'd rather win a Cars Tour race or, I think a lot of people would want to win Martinsville late model race instead of the Martinsville truck race.
Yeah.
I'd say about 80%.
Yeah.
Cars Tour race, and that's saying a lot that it's even more prestigious to win a Cars Tour race than it is a truck race nowadays.
and it don't matter how you win Martinsville either.
I know. Yeah.
why? How'd you win it?
Moving on. What is y'all's biggest wins of your career?
Mine?
Yeah.
I got
Biggest
two.
career
I
win.
only got two really ones.
Okay.
Miami Homestead
Yeah.
and Martinsville.
And what did you win in Miami?
The very first race they ever held there.
Oh,
That's what I was telling him a while ago. His dad was involved.
in a what? A late model?
Goodies Dash car.
Oh,
Yeah, I've watched this race.
That was a 96. How old were you?
95.
no
95?
I was not born yet, but I've watched.
Really?
Really?
I was born in '96. Yeah.
I didn't know
Really?
that.
I know.
But
that
I've watched the video of this race.
Oh, there's video of it. You got video?
Yeah, hell yeah!
Really?
I got a
Dad,
tape of it.
Dad
Do you?
wrecked Hutto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
On
wrecked,
restart.
he wrecked
That's
Hutto.
He was running
I'll
six.
let you go race with
I'll
the
let you
blade.
tell the story.
No, you go ahead. I know the results.
Well,
They
you know.
can't wreck fast enough.
Yeah, Canipe Senior ended up in Victory Lane, but Dad and David Hutto, they got into it a lot, and to say the least. A lot of the videos I have are them two getting into it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I feel like, watching that as a kid, I hated David Hutto because they're always wrecking each other. But Dad wrecked Hutto, and they black flagged him. Well, Dad just kept racing. So Dad.
Oh, he made it through. He made it through.
I thought
No.
he
No.
kept. Did Dad wreck?
I thought the top
Oh, I have.
five
I don't know.
wrecked.
He might have. I don't know. I know there's one video where Dad kept racing. They black flagged him because it was that race because he was in the damn. It was number 90 something. Because it, or was
Mine
it,
was 96. My car. The car I was driving, not mine, but I was driving for somebody else. But anyway,
Did
I
Dad
was
have white-
running 6th, and I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to even win the race.
It's okay. We're R-rated.
Yeah,
Our
okay,
podcast is
good.
R-rated.
So I look up, and it just looked like everybody just pulled out of the way, but they was really wrecking. I just went right up through the middle. That's all I had to do.
Yeah, Dad had a. You're right, because Dad had a. It was White House first year, and they were celebrating something, and it had number 90 something on it, but for the year or something.
Was it number 90?
Or it was number 90 exactly.
think you're right, yeah.
But it was White House. It was
So
the first
what
year.
exactly is the controversy? Like, because I see they said Robert Huffman crossed the line first, and then Dexter won. What happened?
Maybe he got black flag.
I don't
No,
know.
they definitely black flagged him.
Black
yeah,
flag
they black
Rob?
flagged Dad for causing a wreck.
Oh,
Causing
the
melee.
okay, I
Yeah,
got
they
you.
black flagged him like 5 laps ahead of time, but he just said, "Screw it, I'm not coming off the racetrack."
So was that your only dash win?
Yeah, I only run 2 races.
Okay.
Yeah, he's batting 500.
Yeah,
Track.
pretty good average.
I ran 3 Hickory. It might have been Hickory Tri-County and
Homestead.
Homestead.
Speaking of that, Dad wanted me to ask you if you remember. And I don't know if it was. I think it would have been 98, 99. So right after you won your national championship, he was with a guy. He had a not really a rental deal, but he fielded the car out of here for Tim Nichols or Jimmy Gross or somebody. Anyway, they was testing at Tri-County, and they were way off. The driver was way off, and they asked you to get in it, and you picked up half a second. Do you by chance remember that at all?
I do not. I've
You
drove
not?
so many. Here's the deal. That's what I tell somebody. I told somebody the other day. I said, like Ryan Milliton, he drove my nephew's car that he's shanking up.
Right.
I said, if you get a chance, as young as you are, if you can get a chance to drive anybody's car, if you can get in the seat and drive it, you'll learn more doing that than you will just after racing. But for the simple reason, you'll learn what they're doing,
Right.
and then plus you get to learn if they're doing something right, you put it on your car. But
Exactly.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny because he said, man, it's kind of crazy how everything comes full circle now. Back then I was like, man, that guy's bad at, or, of course the driver, and I don't know who it was at the time, but he was like, I don't want no damn local guy getting in my car. I don't even know who it is. I was like, well, he just won a national championship. He's won 3 or 4 track championships. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
And anyway, you picked up half a second.
I
off of
love
what they
driving
was
other
running.
people's cars.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, being that you, you probably quicker than most of them.
Well, not only that, it's just like what I just said. I love driving.
Yeah.
I will say that is a very, very true statement because this year I've driven more race cars than I ever have in my whole life, like other people's cars, and I've learned more this year. Dylan calls me a race car whore because I've raced so many different.
Well, I think we have to give Spike credit for that one, but it's definitely you kind of are a race car whore.
Yeah, but regardless of that, I've gotten to get in a lot of different late models this year.
It's a
and
bonus.
I've learned a lot. I really have.
He's kind of like LeBron James or Kevin Durant or
No.
something. He just changes teams.
The only car that I got in, I wish I never got in is Max Presswood. So the seat is like this wide.
Yeah.
I'm in there sliding around like a greased pig. I ended up, I went over the top of Christy Waller's right rear tire and went head on into the wall, snouted it.
Well, is that your only bad? So obviously that's one of them. But
That was
driving
probably
somebody
worse.
else's car.
Yeah. I felt-
Any big shit shows like that. That's probably the main one that's happened like that.
that one sticks out. I hate it even it happened.
What about you, Junior? Anything like that ever? Any crazy times you've driven somebody else's car? Anything big happened, or most of the time you just go out there and perform?
Yeah, no, I ain't really never wrecked nobody. I mean,
You've never wrecked anybody?
yeah.
I mean, that is that is some
like,
horseshit.
you
If
talk
I've
hang
ever
on,
heard
hang
it.
on, wait, stop. I quit the
Boy,
statement.
Ashley
Stop.
Huffman's over there probably flipping over right now.
We'll
Ashley's
post
on
that.
his way here now.
So he drove somebody else's car for one night.
Yeah.
I've never drove anybody's car for one night and raced it.
Yeah.
I've always drove either his car or somebody owned the car.
Right.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I've wrecked plenty of people.
Yeah. That's funny.
There's always on accident.
And
though.
he still ain't done.
I'm almost done.
He might,
I think
Talking about wrecking people.
Oh
It
yeah,
could-
no, he
it
ain't done. I
could-
think he's gonna catch another
It could
win.
come to blows. between the Canipe father and son. That's probably
I
never
can't
happened.
wreck him.
Well,
if I wreck
no,
him,
but
my cars are going to be out in the parking lot.
But I can wreck him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you could.
I was about to
Wreck
say, Senior might do a little dump and run.
I'm sorry, Junior. My
Bump and
money's
run?
on. My
Just-
money's on Big Days.
I'm reading all these comments right here. They're on him too.
Just imagine, imagine Senior dumping Junior coming off 4, winning the race, and Piercy has to make the call to kick him out. I mean, what a
We'll
unpopular.
put Pierce in a headlock.
Yeah, what an unpopular
Yeah,
decision
you've
that
done
would
your
be.
fair share of fighting too.
Uh,
I'd be there to interview you for sure.
the guests don't get Trulies. Well, we offered. Do you guys? You guys
I don't picture.
have you tried a seltzer?
No.
You haven't tried one.
Would you like to try?
No,
one?
I don't want one. I got to drive home.
I can't. I can't picture Big Dexter drinking a Truly, but
There's actually one in my cooler in the trailer. Been in it for how long? I have no idea.
Come get it, Landon.
We do have cold beers in
I
there.
have
if
no
you-
idea where
There
it
is-
came
there
from.
is
If you
cold
do want
beer.
cold beer, we have those in there. You just ring the bell if you get thirsty.
I got one more question. We're talking about past races and tracks and all these cars you've driven, but is there one track that has more? Obviously, we're local here to Hickory, Tri-County, of that nature, but maybe it's a different track. But is there a track that has more sentimental value for you? Is it Greenville, being that you won the national championship there? I mean,
No,
you have a certain track?
It would be Martinsville. I just soon race at Martinsville and eat. That's how so much I like it.
Yeah, and
I
you
love it.
won the what? Did you won the bid race there, right?
In '98.
8.
Yeah.
Taco Bell 3.
God Almighty! So '97 national championship, '98 wins the Martinsville. So basically,
I know what you're about to say.
what?
I would say basically you were the Josh
Yeah,
Berry.
I was
of the
about to say
late 90s, pretty much.
basically like so. How you guys, all you children in here that are on Twitch and all that stuff, for reference, Dexter Senior was basically the today's Josh Berry of the late '90s. So just dominant. And then at Hickory,
I do got to say 97 you was. He was pretty damn. Everywhere he went.
well,
Oh, he won
everywhere.
32 races.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say
win
that's
everywhere that year.
pretty damn
and
good
then-
year.
And then win the biggest race. So how did that race go? I haven't really ever heard the details of this. I'm sure a lot of people
So
would like to
I
hear
qualified
that.
11th, I think,
Hmm.
and we always qualified good there.
Back then, did they do last chance
Yeah,
races?
They
and stuff?
did do last chance races, but we was good and fortunate to have good enough cars. Dwight Hubman had good enough cars. I didn't have to run the last
Yeah.
chance races.
Right.
So anyway, the long story short, they inverted the top 8, whatever, 6, 8, or 10,
Yeah, 7.
something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, yours running 7.
I
Yeah.
was running 7th, and they inverted 8 and put me on the outside pole. Well, I missed a gear. I thought I missed a gear. Come find out, the clutch disc is just busted in it, and it
Oh,
hung in
God.
4th gear. So, what's that guy's name?
You
Ray
had-
Young.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Ray
Yeah,
Young.
Ray
yeah.
Young, he picks me up and carries me on the last restart. Just carries me down into the corner. Well, this other guy, well, it was Ray Young, wasn't it?
It
Anyway,
was Ray Young. Yeah.
how that ended up, I wrecked half the field.
So yeah, here's the story.
So Greg Marlowe and all of them up flying
Greg
around up the
Marlowe-
grandstand,
Flip that.
flipping up down
Philip
the back-
Morris, Greg Marlowe was probably going to win the race. Him and Philip Morris
Yeah.
were the class of the field. Toby
Yeah.
Porter.
Yeah.
I mean, some good cars, really
Yeah.
good cars. So they inverted him to second. Back then, there wasn't no double file restart. So he's second on that one restart. I'm sitting on pit road. I can remember. I see it to this day. I can see Greg Marlowe's eyes about this big coming straight toward me. He misses that gear, whatever, and all the fast cars, every one of them, are windshield deep on the front stretch wall.
There'll be a show of that. We
I
should do.
mean, it was.
That's a good. That's that. We probably.
There's another
soundbite
race
that.
he lucked up into. He had a good car. Don't get it wrong, but
I didn't have a winning
he
car.
he was going to finish around 5th, 6th. But like I say, Philip Morris and Greg Marlowe were the.
Philip didn't cash the check at halfway.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Really.
Yeah.
So-
But that's the thing about Martinsville. You win it one year, like the next year I went back. I didn't make the race.
I mean, people
tough.
people always have compared it to the 500 because it's the biggest race that we
Yeah.
have in late model stock racing, but it's also the 500 because of like how elusive it is to win it, and like how many times it took Josh to even win it. I mean, he's been the
Yeah.
most dominant late model racer basically for the last.
I remember Josh
5
Berry not
years.
even making the race first couple of times he'd been there.
Yeah, and then Lee Pulliam, he's probably only won it 1 or 2 times, maybe 3, and he's won 5 national championships. And,
Yeah,
and
he's
Philip Morris, I mean, I don't know if he's won multiple Martinsville races.
He has won a couple.
A couple, but
Yeah.
like it's not one of those events where you go win 8 of them. It just doesn't happen.
yeah.
And you're lucky. You probably have the most all time if you've won 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah,
Or
I'd
maybe
say you're right.
probably 3.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if anybody. I can't name anybody that has 3 Martinsville
I mean,
wins.
maybe
for sure.
Citra's got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They used to run 2 of those races. Remember?
Yeah. I know he's got a truck race and a late model race there.
Yeah.
For sure.
They used to
And
run
now-
they used to run the
So
late model.
Josh got
Berry
an
has two
Xfinity
clocks,
in,
yeah.
a late model race, so it's elusive territory. Speaking of all these other old racers, we'll call them vintage racers. We ain't call them old racers.
Old heads.
Old heads. Who was your biggest rival back in the day, man? And give us a little bit of.
Well, it would have to be Max.
Yeah,
For sure.
Max Presswood.
And then the Houstons, we always had it out with the Houstons because of their car owner didn't like me or whatever.
Right.
And that's about really the only ones it was because when we went to Greenville, we didn't know nobody down there, so we only raced there 1 year.
Fans.
Well,
Fans hated you.
You'd be going down the backstretch and you'd be getting the bird all the time.
Yeah, fans hated you at
They
Greenville.
absolutely.
Well, yeah, he
hated
won
me.
every damn
Right.
race.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
They had to escort him out
Yeah, I've been escorted out of there several times.
just because he won.
I mean, there's 15,000 people in the stands. When I first started going there, it was 15,000. After about 10 races, it was 6,000.
Right.
After about 12 races, it was 2,000. So the owner was finally ready to get rid of it.
Yeah. Did they ever have you ever had a bounty put on you?
Yeah, David Hyder got that money.
Really?
Yeah, he come down there. So I won like 9 or 10 in a row, and they brought Hyder in to beat me, and they never took his hood off. So we was going to protest because we know the deal,
Yeah.
But they never took the hood off, so they wouldn't let us do nothing. So basically, just go home.
Right.
So Hyder got that money.
See, that would have been a cool T-shirt. Maybe we can still make one. Like a wanted poster. See, Greenville Pickens assassin, Dexter Canipe Sr. So,
But all them people are rivals now. We were probably just good friends now. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Hageman was one of them. We fought like cats and dogs, but he was probably one of our best friends.
Oh gosh, yeah.
When he,
it seems like it's usually how it
Big
works.
brawl in
so
'93.
that was my next question. You've patched over pretty much all the rivalries with
Yeah.
Max and
Yeah.
the Houstons.
yeah.
So there's nobody that you still today like, man, I still want to kick his ass.
No, I don't think so.
At least
I mean, you forgive, but you never forget, but you forgive a lot.
Yeah.
But
there's definitely some out there that you would still love to repay the favor, but not necessarily
no,
face
I
to
don't think
face.
So.
Really?
I don't.
Not when Max wrecked you on the last lap.
Nah, I don't. I mean, I would.
First late model race.
I got him back.
Yeah.
I got him and Andy both back. I told him my contact fell out at Tri-County one day, and I knocked the snout off of Max's one lap, and I think 2 or 3 laps later I got Andy.
Yeah.
I believed that lie. That was a lie.
So he didn't lose no contact.
I used to wear contacts.
I will say, I'll attest to that. I tried to wear them one time, and they get really dry because evidently I don't blink and I don't breathe when I drive a race car. So,
But I'd let both of them drive my car today because
Yeah,
I don't have a
right.
problem with none of them.
it's cool, man, and it's really. I mean, it seems like that's how it always goes. I mean, I'm sure a lot of rivals that your dad had is like nowadays they see each other out in public. They would have a beer together and laugh about a
You
lot
mean
of
David
it.
Hutto? If you seen David Hutto out?
No, not David
They'd have
Hutto.
a-
He
they'd
still
have
wants
a-
to
I don't
kick
know.
David.
I don't know. You know what?
He
That
don't even
might-
know David Hutter, and he probably don't even like him.
Hell, I was born with a vendetta against Hutto. You know what I'm saying? No, I think it'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's just so different, man. Like
Yeah.
you guys, y'all raced, toe to toe, head to head, beating and banging, race the shit out of each other all the time. But I think as you get older, it's just different. Dad's trying to call.
Is he
us.
really? Put him on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Tell him to get off the liquor.
Hey.
Hey,
What's going on?
what are you doing?
I mean, are you watching?
Well,
the
obviously he
show?
knows what
Trying
you're
to do a
doing.
radio show here.
Why y'all telling lies about me?
You still want to? Why don't you call in here in a minute?
Well, I'm trying to. What do I call?
Hold on. We'll
Yeah,
put. We'll
pretty
put
good.
Almighty.
You can hear him pretty good.
all right. Well, I mean,
What lie did we tell?
what lie did we tell?
Well, I wasn't even involved in that wreck when Dexter won the race.
I didn't think he was, but I was trying to make sure he wasn't. But you said he got black flag.
Well, did you
was
not
in-
cause it?
Oh, you fell out of the
That was
race,
in
didn't you?
that was a different year. I caused one down there, but it wasn't.
Oh, so you did cause one and you got black flagged.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't that one.
Okay. Well, do you think you and David Hutto would get along now?
Why, yeah.
When's the last time last time you seen him? Were y'all on good terms?
I mean, hell, I think I get along with Christy Oliver now.
Was David Hutto like 12 back then?
I think he was. I think Dad was fighting a minor the whole time.
Well, yeah, we get along. We got along then.
Wouldn't you agree that as you guys get older, it's more about the stories and less about, what went on when you guys were in the race cars?
I don't know. Well, yeah, it has to be. We're too damn old to do anything else.
I don't know. I mean, Dexter Senior's getting back in one. Dexter Senior's
He's
getting
had a
back in
few
one
drinks.
July. Look, listen, you're put on the spot right now. I've been trying to get you for how long to get back in one? Right now you got 80 people watching you. You know, what's the hold
Guess
up?
what? It don't matter if there's 1 or there's 80 watching. Robert ain't getting back in one.
He is smarter than I am.
It says
I ain't
Oliver and
got-
Huffman
I ain't
reunion.
got the damn nerve I used to have. It ain't happening.
Well, I guess that's fair. I'll try again next year.
All right, get y'all story straight. Y'all making me look bad.
It probably ain't the first time, and it ain't going to be the last. All right, see you.
I mean, what
He
a
did fall out of that
surprise guess.
So I was right, but I was on the wrong year.
race. Yeah.
Watch out,
Well,
flying
that's
debris. So special call in from
Yeah.
Landon's dad, Robert Huffman. There.
I'll make sure he's not getting told
clear
bad
that up.
stories.
So basically, the way I took it there is like everybody. We hope everybody has a great July 4th coming up, except for David Hutto.
Maybe we need to have David
How
call
many
in the
Christmas
show.
cards
Let's have
does
a
Rob
David
send to
Hutto,
Hutto?
Robert Huffman episode. That would be awesome.
There's one battle of them two at Lakeland that I've watched over and over and over. I mean, they had a hellacious battle for the lead, and Hutto ended up wrecking that. I mean,
You sure about this? Because he'll call back in.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty positive. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
he could call back in and tell me otherwise, but like they were racing for the lead. Dad would get into him, knock him up the track. Well, the next corner, Hutto would come from car length and a half back and drive all the way down there and knock Dad out of the way. I mean, they did it for like 8 laps, and finally Hutto just parked his ass.
Man. Also, speaking of some old rivals of Rob, today is Larry Cottle's birthday, and we watched not long ago a video of
Oh
them
yeah,
two at Myrtle Beach, and Larry said he ran out brakes and just absolutely smoked Rob going
Smoked
into
it.
one.
3, 4, 5 car lengths back. I
But,
mean, never lifted.
So basically, we hope you have a shitty birthday. I'm just kidding. Larry, I seen him. He liked the page not too long ago, so hopefully that'd be cool to get him and Rob and
Oh,
Hutto.
get your old
my-
Dash
my
guys in here.
He's a
grandpa.
Hickory track champion. Cottle,
4
I
or 5
think.
over,
yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's done
he's
good.
won quite a few.
I think I got a damn die cast of. They made like a
Yeah, they did.
1994 die cast
Yeah,
car.
I
of
had some of
Cottles. I
those
got
too.
one of
It
those.
had a card with it.
Yeah, it was
like
like
a Racing Champions or
It's number
something.
44.
Yeah.
White 44.
So yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe a Dash Series reunion.
There
one
you
day.
go.
So getting back to the cars that you like to drive, if you ever get to drive an open wheel modified, you need to get in one. That is the most funnest car you'll ever drive.
So have you raced one, or you just
Yeah.
got to test
I
one?
sat
or-
on the outside of Pole at Wilkesboro on one of them.
That's
Oh.
what somebody said in
When
the
was
chat.
that?
Yeah, God, I don't even when that was.
96.
I run modifieds and on late models that day like a dummy.
I thought you did 3 of them. Thought you did Dash 2, didn't you?
No, I think it's just modified. I run the modified and had to run the garage getting late model run down through there. That was but anyway, the most fun car you'll ever drive is open wheel modified. That is,
A lot of power and a lot of tire.
oh my God, you have a ball.
Really?
A lot of
600
people say
horse-
that.
600 horsepower. All you do is you don't drive them, you just point them.
A lot of people say
I
that.
love them.
I
No, go ahead.
I really want to drive one at Bowman Gray.
No, you want to drive one at Martinsville. That's where
Go.
Or
Yeah,
Martinsville.
go where you can
Martinsville's-
go
yeah,
fast.
Martinsville. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bowman
go
Gray's
fast.
just a bucket list
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah, I like to race Bowman.
a modified
Gray-
at Bowman Gray, that just holds.
he ain't big enough to pick up for you at Bowman Gray.
Yeah,
You gotta have
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
bigger than
yeah.
that.
You ain't seen him with a jack handle in
If
his
you,
hand.
if you get in a,
Torque wrench.
Yeah,
if you get in a fight at Bowman Gray, I'm helping the other guy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Well, I see where we stand. Then.
Or I don't even know you. I'm going to the car.
Yeah, y'all are right. We are not allowed to say Wilkesboro on here.
really?
As you see up there, we got a cease and desist for selling bring
it's right
back
here.
North Wilkesboro shirts.
Yeah.
At one point, so instead we are selling other merch,
It's North Redacted Speedway.
which we've just been playing around with a lot of stuff. So as far as the merchandise goes, I know nobody's like chomping at the bit, so just absolutely get stuff. But we've got some. If you just bear with us, believe me, it'll be worth it. We're gonna have some really cool stuff.
We're coming up with a better solution because a lot of you guys that pre-ordered, you obviously know the story. Well, I think what we're going to do is, we put in the order for the people that wanted to keep their shirts.
Right.
So instead of offering another pre-order, which is going to take too much time, we just went ahead and put in the pre-order for our new shirts, which you guys have seen. And then we're going to order extra, so then we'll have more for
Yeah.
those of you that are wanting it that didn't get a pre-order in. So just bear with us with that.
So-
We're taking care of you. It was a better method to the madness, and it just saved us a lot of time, and you guys are going to get your stuff sooner by doing it this
we
way.
had a goal of having some stuff ready for this weekend, and I was going to try to sell some while we were at Tri-County for Lannon's race. I was going to put us up a tent or whatever and not do a live show because he's racing, but sell some stuff, do a pop-up shop, if you will, and we couldn't get everything made in time. So instead of rushing it and having to pay extra and charge everybody more, or just completely lose our ass on it, we're gonna do this timely and plan it out ahead of time. That way people know we're coming, and we'll be able to do. We got to get a bigger inventory build up. Basically, we've been doing this like we buy 50 shirts, we sell 50 shirts. We don't buy 200 and then try to sell 50 of them. We try to go with the flow and not lose our ass on it. That way we don't have a ton of inventory that ain't no good in a couple months because it has a certain track on it.
Which
So,
we usually sell out of every
Right.
shirt that we buy, so we probably could buy more. But
yeah. But nonetheless,
We
just
sell
bear
those
with us.
Promotion shirts, and you don't want to do a live show, do it in car. He can do it in car live.
Yeah,
That would
that's
sell
true.
more shirts.
Yeah, and you could wear a T-shirt
you're
over the fire
racing.
suit.
Yeah, while you're racing.
man, you could. What if we did a?
Listen to the spotter.
There you
and all
go.
that.
I can't come over here and straighten y'all out every week.
Well,
honestly.
man, we're on.
Don't
We
please
gotta
don't
start
send
getting
us.
royalty on this.
Wait, please don't send us a check.
And if you want to buy shirts, buy mine and Junior's July 24th.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
they're
you
making
go.
a
They
Trevor
are.
Townsend. See
That
Trevor
is
Townsend.
I
See Trevor
actually
Townsend.
will grab some of those. That's for sure. These guys are selling some with y'all's cars on it and stuff.
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be cool.
I've been trying to
do you know
talk-
who's designing them? Is Duck doing them?
Mingo? What, Mongo? What?
What's his name?
Maggio.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's doing all of it.
Okay. And I've got I've been trying to talk Big Decks over here into doing a full Egmont wrap for his return race.
You let us know how much that's going to cost. I mean, if it's easy to put on, you're going to put it on, obviously,
Yeah,
because I ain't
no.
put it on. If somebody help us take it right back off, like
I'll
you said,
get you
he's
hooked
got
up.
a,
I'll
he's
get
got
you
a
hooked
rental
up. We
deal.
just got to put, we'll put windshield deep on it somewhere and all that good stuff. So.
We wrapped it
Why
one
don't
year
you do
like
it for
that.
free? Don't do it.
No,
We gotta make money.
No,
'cause
believe me, I won't do that.
We done it for the throwback race.
we done it. What the year I did it?
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
it.
I
Huffman
remember-
race. The Huffman.
I remember that
We
car.
went through Tech with the yellow car and come back out with a white car.
because we started taking off.
We
after
peeled it
Tech.
off right after the race.
That was the Dwight Huffman Memorial
Yeah, that's
race.
what it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I never got to run that late model race. I just ran it.
That was a good race.
I just ran
Yeah,
it in Lincoln car.
It stopped happening in what,
The
2014?
year that I moved up to late model.
Maybe you can get everybody to pitch in, help
Yeah,
buy
don't you
that
have
wrap.
a Cash App on there somewhere?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, start
GoFundMe
your
page.
fund. We'll be, yeah.
But
Might need a GoFundMe page to get me out of that car when I get done.
But the wrap I like to do,
Like a tow truck.
the car I like is the 95, 96 colors.
I only run late models for 4 or 5 years. That's all I've ever ran it.
Yeah.
Everybody, I won my first race in '79, but I really only started running late models 95, 96,
What
97,
the hell
98.
did you run from 79 to 92?
Oh, I
This
run
man
a
went from mini truck-
63 Cadillac in '79.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At Tri-County or
Hickory.
what? Hickory?
Yeah.
Okay.
When did you drive for my grandpa?
83 maybe.
Was that a late model or was
Rob,
that
I think JV got tired of putting snouts back on.
think
Rob,
so,
you heard that, didn't you?
So that explains the picture I seen with the S&H Pools car not long ago. I seen a picture of you kneeled down beside S. I'm like,
Yeah, I would like to do a throwback if it landed me a race, do a 75 and you do a 75 because they both drove the same
Yeah, it was.
colored cars.
There's a picture. I'll have to look for it when I get home. I've got,
I
it
got a
somewhere.
picture of winning in that car with him on my knee about 2-3 years old.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
there's
the
a-
picture I seen. I
I got
think.
you.
There's a couple pictures of him
there it is.
really, really small.
Yeah, that one.
But there's a picture of an old. It was the hauler, but
Yep.
I can't remember. It was like I don't even know what you call them. A triangle bed looking, where one car was pulled up on the
Yep.
rollback and the other one was pulled with a trailer.
I'd like to have that back, wouldn't you? That'd be cool. to
Yeah,
have.
that was badass,
Yeah.
man. That was really, really cool. Well, I
Carol-
guess one was a late model, one was a limited car.
Yep.
but-
The
It
So-
all worked out for Rob. He done very well. 2 or 3 time track champion at Hickory, wasn't he?
He
Yeah.
won it twice.
Yeah.
Won Tri-County and
Brought
Hickory in
Toyota
the
in.
same year. Yeah.
we never really asked you though, like how you got your start in racing. Like, did your dad get you
63
into
Cadillac.
it? I mean, did you? What did you
I
do?
watched
Did
my
you
dad
have you a
race.
little bit of money and you went and bought you a '63 Cadillac, or did your dad race? Is what you're saying?
He raced. He ended his career getting into turn 1 at that cement barrier. At
Oh,
that
really?
end. He hit so hard it busted his kneecap, 3rd-degree burns, and it done a lot of damage there. But it knocked the radiator out. I mean, the motor out of it, and the rear end housing out of it. It knocked it all out. But I think that was his last race. I don't know what year that was. Must have been 78, 77.
Was that photo on Facebook? you
Maybe
just
go all
showed?
the way down. Maybe go.
I'm
all
trying
the-
to find you
all
guys
the way down.
a picture of this deal. So anyway, you got a '63 Cadillac.
I
Raced
wish I
it.
had that picture too. Somewhere I've got it, but I can't find it. It's a
don't
blue
know.
number 15.
Look at this picture.
That's me and Brian Vickers.
Oh yeah. I guess this is the new segment of the show. We just go through your Facebook profile just live right here and exposed.
Oh, is this off your phone?
No, it must be.
I'm
off
trying to
the
find
Facebook.
the. I don't
got
know.
it.
I thought I seen that picture the other day. What's that? Is that a
yellow
Martins-
5?
is that a
Yeah,
Martinsville?
Yeah.
When did you go run Martinsville?
2 years ago.
Oh,
Speaking of,
Started 17.
we got
how'd you finish?
we got two.
Oh, I remember that.
About last.
When he ran Martinsville a couple years ago.
Yeah.
About last.
well, brake
Had a
rotor.
left rear
Oh,
caliper
caliper,
over
something
and
like that.
blow out.
You ran good at some point in it or something, though. right?
2011, finished 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, go ahead.
I was gonna say we have two generations sitting here, but when is Trey gonna be?
Well, Trey done started and finished his career.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't take long.
oh,
He
well,
ended his career in turn
lucrative
1 too.
career.
He ended his career in turn 1 too.
he,
backed it in the wall.
He was over about the scoreboard though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where-
no.
and
He got in
late
too high.
model?
How did I miss this?
It was in practice. He got in too high getting in turn 1, and then he backed it in the wall.
Backed
Then
it in?
Oh yeah. So I made him help him fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and he fixed it, but he quit.
I done like JV Hubman would have done. I took I didn't take a tractor out of the way JV. Just took a quarter power and straightened her up. Got it fuel cell 8 inches
Yeah.
and sent him on his way. And that car's still like it today.
That car even won a race.
Yeah.
He won 2 races.
Well,
After that,
so when did that happen?
I can't believe that.
It seemed like not long
Oh, look
ago
at
we
here.
were like, won't be long.
Mickey sent you. Here you go, right there.
Which one's this?
You talking about that red 15?
Oh, yeah.
no, that was in the 80s.
Oh.
My 63 Cadillac
Huh.
was sitting
Oh.
in the
I need
70s.
to find a. We need a.
I'm
we need
all
a
dummy
phone
going
bureau.
around the Hickory Speedway for 41 years.
Someone said Landon needs a refill. Is that true?
Yeah, I
He's
am
been
out.
sipping on that truly.
No, we're out, but
You
we
need
are
a-
getting close
You need
to.
a nipple for that thing?
Are you kidding me right now? You drink these more than I do. They came out of your fridge.
You're drinking it slow, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Idiot. Do you not know what that means?
They're gonna start fighting on their own podcast.
Yeah,
we
listen to
have
this
before.
every week.
Yeah, you should see our
We'd
text
like to
message.
get
We-
everybody
we
to
come
come
to
race
Brawls.
that race. It ain't
Yeah.
all about us. I like to Landon,
Well,
Rob. I mean,
they hear our shit. every
Andy,
week.
Marty. I like to get them all out there.
It would be cool. It really, I don't know. I wish that and I've said this all the time. I said it on the show, and I've told my dad this before, but I wish that I was old enough to appreciate his racing when he was younger. I mean, you were fortunate enough that
Well, I wish I could go back too, like you said, but I was too busy chasing women. I was
Well,
17, 16 years
yeah,
old.
that's the Windshield
Well, and
equal.
plus I couldn't get in the pits back when he was started. You
You
had
had
to
to
Yeah.
be 16.
Yeah, that's tough.
And
Now all you got to do is breathe. And you
Yeah.
can get in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
I
drive
just-
one if you as soon as you get off the pacifier. You
Yeah.
drive a damn late model.
Yeah, you can get in now if you
That's
just.
the only criteria. You just can't be
Yeah.
on the pacifier anymore.
But I do wish that I could have experienced it at the age I am now
Yeah.
with my dad.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, my dad racing, because I think I would have appreciated it a lot more, and I probably would have. I mean, I would have learned so much more. But you know, that's just how it goes, and I'm sure everybody has felt that way, or you know, over their lifetime. But I do think it would be really cool to see everybody go back. I mean, honestly. Like, I guess that could segue us into this last topic here, but what I was going to say is that could honestly help rejuvenate, you know, some of the racing at Hickory and get people out in the grandstands. But that might, you know, that's kind of the problem right now is we're not getting the newer generation in my opinion, as far as ages into the racetrack, or I guess getting them interested in what's going on. But we could ask both of you, you know, what do you guys feel like late model racing needs right now in order to start climbing back towards what it was like in the 90s. I mean, obviously all NASCAR racing right now is not like it was. And we're trying to figure out ways to get people involved and interested. But you've been involved with it throughout this entirety of time. So what do you feel like?
And I'm probably going to get yelled at for saying this, but I'm going to say it. So the biggest cost in late model racing or any high sport is tires. But the racetracks have to sell tires to make their money. I just think the tires is too expensive. If we can figure out some way to get the tires down, the cost, we have motors now that last all year. They don't like we blow them up every couple of races like
Right.
we used to. So we got the motor issue fixed. We just got to get the tire issue fixed. And the racetracks have to do that to make their money. And I get it, but there's got to be a way
A
we can
solution.
make this work.
So I wonder if there's like a different type of tire, or whether like I don't know the science behind tires, what makes them racy
Yeah.
and what makes them not racy.
have no idea.
But like, I just wonder if there's some kind of way they could like, I don't know if they go smaller tires or add some kind of tread to it, like as stupid as it sounds. But if it takes off $500,
tires called Pro Track.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd seen that, but like I don't know if that would cheapen it, make it cheaper, or more expensive if you cut grooves in it. Essentially, is what they would be doing,
Like a
or
dirt
if it would be cheaper to just be slicks. I think the only reason that the slick, I don't feel like it's a hard tire to produce. There's just a lot of demand for them.
Yeah.
And it's a small. It's not to them. It's a small market. I mean, short track racing. You know, Hoosier's deal is that obviously, but like any big tire company would never get into that because, you know, I don't know how many sets of tires they sell Hoosier sells on a given weekend, but it's probably minute compared to how many.
And I say that, and if we get a tire fixed, then they'll come up and say, "Well, we're going to buy a new body. It's $6,000 for a body." I mean, racers we're our own enemies to start with.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's just it never quits.
What did a set of tires cost back in the day? Do you remember by chance?
$380.
So they've doubled in price. And
Yeah.
and here's another, like, I guess sore topic, but tires costed $380. You're racing for the same purse that we race for now.
Unfortunately, yeah. And it's not only Hickory;
It's everywhere. It's across the board.
You
Yeah,
can't throw
100%.
Hickory under the bus on this.
No,
You got to
no.
throw all these short tracks.
Yeah,
under the
no,
bus
it's
on
not. It's not just one track. It's I mean, tri-counties, the purse is just as bad. Purse is bad everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. But it's sad that we're not. You know, there's no inflation in the purse along with the price. I mean, that's, I guess, would give you an idea of sort of where it's at.
I know you like, and him. He probably likes the high horsepower cars. I wish they'd put a 450 carburetor on all these motors and be done with it. Get all the motors together.
Yeah.
And everybody weighs the same.
Yeah.
You weigh 3,100, whatever the number is. If
There-
3,100, you got a 450 carburetor on a Forcer or a 500 on a crate motor, and let them race.
There ain't a big damn difference in
The
speed.
people in the grandstand don't know if you're running 16 seconds or 14 seconds.
Exactly.
They just want to see a race.
Well, that and I mean, you know, you say high horsepower or whatever, but to be honest with you, like, yeah, the late models right now, hell, they got way too
That's
much.
why I
motor.
don't want to run the late model race. I'd rather run the limited race.
I feel like I'm driving. I mean, you really do. You have to drive the shit out of them every lap, and they have a ton of motor.
Yeah.
They do right now. Like 5 years ago when I was racing late model, you were racing every weekend. What I had then is not comparable at all to what we're racing right now. And but that's also, you know, the motor we're running right now. Yeah, it definitely is more durable and it lasts longer. But you're still spending $15,000
Yes.
on a motor.
But if you put a 450 carburetor, that motor's going to last 2 years instead of
Right.
one. Get the RPMs back down.
Which I don't understand this process happens over and over and over. Like, we brought in the crate motor.
Yep.
The crate motor was super cheap. It got a lot of people racing. But the problem before the crate motor was the built motors were so expensive.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, that's
So
right.
that's why they introduced the crate.
Yep.
Crate worked for a while, but then we slowly, like you said, racers are our own enemies. We slowly started working our way through the crate. Well, the crate was no longer a crate. It was a built crate. So then we introduced the Enforcer.
Mine was stock.
Oh, bullshit. But, you know, mine was probably as close to stock as any of them. That's why it's shit canned on the front stretch of Hickory.
Mine and your Hickory little motors.
Oh, they didn't
Both
last
of both of our little motor experiments went all to shit.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, everything's just going out of sight. But that's why people can't afford it. Like, I work a full-time job now. I don't have a rental deal, so I had to go work full-time,
Yeah.
which you probably work full-time. All of us do, but time you get off at 3:30, 4 o'clock, making your $500 a week, you don't want to spend $650 for a set of tires.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or $10 a gallon for gas, or $40 pit pass.
That's why all your local guys are not in it. Like
That's
we talked
exactly
about at
why
the
we're
beginning.
not. Yeah, we're on all that.
Yeah, and that's why my car's they're dormant right now, and why y'all asked when he came in.
It's
Like,
got a
when-
pretty wrap on it, though.
When the hell you don't come race?
looks
I'm
good,
like,
though.
I'd love to
It
do
does look
this.
good.
I said the reason I can't race is because I got to spend my money on shit that's important right now. So I'm gonna run a quick. Listen, to this big stuff. I'm gonna run a quick advertisement,
Come on.
about 10 seconds long. One
Is it
wraps.
Dexter's detailing?
You might know him.
It
No,
could
but
be.
if you want to
It
give
could
yourself
be,
a,
couldn't
if
it?
you want to give yourself a
I'm gonna try to look
shameless
for
plug,
this. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Dexter's Detailing. Where are you located
I
at?
have
Hickory,
a-
North Carolina.
I see your before and after pictures. It is
Yeah,
unreal what
yeah.
people bring into you.
Oh, I appreciate
But
Yeah.
the man, I mean, it's crazy what it does. If you need your car detailed in the Hickory area, go see Dexter. He might do a
I'm
little
looking for this car
short
right there.
track racing talk. I'm gonna play about a 10-second ad. Landon, that should give you enough time to go pee. Old tiny tank, and we'll
gives
be
him
right
hell.
back.
It's innovation at its finest.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
We could take the names off.
One
the
wraps
car.
if you need iRacing paints or if you need real life wraps. That's kind of the main thing. A lot of you guys I know from iRacing, but if you need real wraps, real stuff, that's my main gig. But nonetheless, One Wraps, that's me. OneDesignsWraps.com.
He has
Go
a
there, get all your stuff.
special going on right now if you need any profile designs done for your OnlyFans.
I will personally, I will personally go to your OnlyFans page, review your pictures, make
There
sure,
you go.
make sure
Yeah,
they're up
I
to
bet
par.
you would.
Give you a
And
rating.
the new TikTok trend where they do the beer posters with chicks with their
Ass
bikinis
hanging out.
on. I'm
Yeah.
doing free beer poster renders. You just
There
have
you
to
go.
send me the raw image, and I will edit it for you. So, moving on from that, here's a cool segment: rapid fire questions. I haven't done this in a while, and we'll give you guys a chance to answer. Both of you guys a chance to answer all 10 of these questions. It's pretty simple. Some of them yes, no. Some of them one-word answers, but I'm sure some of them will lead into conversation. So we won't have to be real fast about it. But
How much time y'all got?
as long as you got.
Oh, okay.
He goes to bed at night.
I go to bed about right now. I don't know how I'm gonna get home.
Yeah,
Anyway,
We're getting close. to it.
We got
Okay.
yeah.
no, I'm just.
We started 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. So favorite number, both of you.
It has to be 5.
Yeah, 5.
Five. All right. Favorite track.
Has to be Martin.
Mark, I like Myrtle Beach, but I know it's closed down.
Well,
Myrtle
no,
Beach
that's
was
fine.
starting to be
That's-
my
that's
favorite
still a
track.
track.
Myrtle Beach,
Yeah.
Martinsville. Okay, that's 2 good ones. First win. Where was your first win at?
Hickory Speedway.
In a late model or
63 Cadillac.
Six-
Yeah,
Cadillac. I forgot about
we
63
went over
Cadillac.
this. 63 Cadillac.
Hickory.
In 1979.
Hickory
Way back.
limited race.
Yeah.
In
Back in the
90
1900s.
99.
second year.
Yeah.
Well,
I run about 3
Your
or 4
rookie
races.
year, basically.
Yeah.
most hated track. What track do you hate the
Oh,
most?
Florence, South Carolina.
you
God
kidding me?
almighty.
Well,
Florence.
you're gonna get a Steve. Steve's gonna
Look,
call you.
Steve, I love you to death, but I cannot stand. They don't have a wall
Yeah.
at Florence.
That's
Guess what I
always
hit?
weird.
Guess what I hit?
Trees.
No,
The only
the only
full-
damn wall out there.
Oh,
Front stretch wall.
It wasn't too nice to y'all last year either, was it? For the
No, it wasn't either good either.
y'all got 2 of them.
what about you? What's your most hated track?
Most hated track.
I mean, maybe it's your most hated track to race on, or maybe it's just the area. Like I don't know. Either
It's
way.
got to be Caraway.
Caraway.
Really?
I agree.
I thought it'd be
I hate
Concord.
Caraway.
I
Every time I
agree.
go down, I wreck.
I agree with Caraway because I hate
I hate it.
the one groove curb. Like
Absolutely.
it's a
hate
shitty
it.
version of Martinsville.
You can be on the bottom, they'll cut across your hood and blame it on you.
Yeah. All
It
right.
happens every time.
Have you ever raced hungover?
Huh?
Have you ever raced with a hangover?
No, I don't
I
drink.
have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Hungover.
Driving Stewart's truck at Myrtle Beach.
The better question
How'd
would be,
you run?
when have we raced? Not
Actually ran pretty good.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm telling
100
you,
laps.
hungover racing is
He
underrated.
had double pneumonia race at Myrtle Beach a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's what he
It's
told
like
you.
the Michael Jordan flu game. So it turns
I did
out it
have
wasn't
double
double
It
pneumonia.
was double pneumonia. He lost like 25 pounds.
It was.
Yeah, I thought
it
I was gonna die
It
when
was
I got back
corona
home.
pneumonia.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah. Cars Tour versus the UARA. If
It's Cars Tour. Because, I mean, URA was good back in the day, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Cars Tour's got it all. They got it worked out. They do a good job.
They do a lot for the drivers.
Yeah, they do a lot for the drivers.
Yeah, car store.
Agree with that. Okay. Who is your personal greatest of all time? Like, who do you think is the greatest of all time in short track racing?
That's a good one.
It is, ain't it?
Stuff.
I mean, you can't argue with what I grew up. I mean, he's probably got a different.
Yeah,
view of
I
that.
figured y'all
I
would.
got one in
That's-
mind. Outside of him, I think he's really good. But
Yeah.
I got one in mind.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Let him
Tough.
fire first.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Dennis
for it.
Setzer.
Dennis Setzer.
Well, I
Dennis
was
Setzer
gonna
was
say
pretty,
Dennis, but,
pretty
I mean,
damn sporty.
Yeah, that's kind of what he was high up on the list, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will say Dennis. They'll say Barry Beggerly.
I never watched Barry Begley.
Yeah,
much.
they'll and I guess that's more just late model bound. A lot of people say Richie Evans or back in the day.
We're going
but-
all the way back there.
no, I'm thinking more like it doesn't have to be this, but I'm thinking like in between like 80 and present, like who's the
I got
best short track racer, whether it's
I'm
modified.
gonna be honest with you, and Dennis Setzer's the top of the list, but Josh Berry does a very
Oh,
good
yeah.
job.
Yeah,
Josh-
I mean that's
He's
saying a
as
lot.
good as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
He knows
I
how to
agree
brake. He knows how to gas. He knows how to manipulate that front ball. I mean, he knows it. He's like we was back in the
Yeah, I agree with that.
90s.
with that.
Yeah.
I would say Josh
And
Berry's
works on his
definitely
own
on
stuff.
the
That's what is impressive.
he's on the Mount Rushmore. So there you heard it, folks. Josh Berry's a real deal. Dexter Canipe Sr.
the
said
mouth of
that's
one of the
that's
best.
his goat. One of the goats says that's his. I mean, that's like Michael Jordan saying, Kobe Bryant's the greatest of all. It's pretty
I agree
wild.
with that.
Any pre-race meals? You have a certain meal you eat before race day? Back when you was
Cheeseburger,
driving?
maybe, whatever I can eat. Look at me. I eat anything. I eat seafood. Anything I
Yeah.
see.
What about you?
Same damn thing.
Whatever.
Runs in the family.
You have any certain pre-race meals? I don't know. If that-
I feel like I don't eat enough on race day.
So
I
I
don't know
used
why.
to try to be like healthy, you know, and I've got diabetes, so like I'm supposed to like. At the time I was trying to really do things right, but I would get to a point where I felt like shit. I would have a headache because I'd be eating different than I would on a normal day. I would eat like fruit and veggies, and so now I just get. Usually I'll come in hungover and just eat a cheeseburger at Hickory with
It works out.
a
don't
cold cheeseburger at Hickory with a slight hangover.
it?
Cheeseburgers are a little cold.
You're sitting on the pole, you know.
Yeah.
Any superstitions racing wise?
No $50 bills and no peanuts.
Okay.
no
Yeah.
peanuts. That's
No
it.
peanuts.
That's a big one.
That's
I still get laughed at over that, but it is what it is.
Same
I've grown
thing?
up with that.
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
No peanuts and no $50 bills. You know, and that's funny because I'd never really heard. I've always heard no green race cars, but that's kind of like that went away as soon as
Well, of
everybody
course, you
got
got green
broke.
money in your pocket, right? So
Yeah.
if you're gonna carry green around, might as well race green.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people say don't drive green race cars. A
It
lot of
worked out
peanut
good for Harry
guys.
Gant.
Yeah,
Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte.
I've
won
won
some-
in a green car, so
Yeah, you know the green thing ain't.
No,
50 and a
Dean
peanuts.
St. John might have an argument about that. You remember him?
who?
Dean
Dean
St. John.
Oh,
Run
He
limited.
drove a green number 13 with a black cat on the side.
really?
Oh my god.
He tested the superstition. Didn't
Yeah, he did.
That's a good question for who's the greatest ever race car driver to drive a green race car. We'll just let y'all in the chat figure that out.
I'll go ahead and tell you, it'd be Harry Gant.
Yeah, Harry Gant for sure, but the new age is probably don't say
Chad Little.
Chad Little and the John Deere Green Boy.
What talking about race cars or lawnmowers?
What an elite response.
So, and one more, biggest driving regret. Like, what's the biggest regret you have as a driver? Now, I know a lot of people say, "Man, I have no regrets," but I kind of call bullshit on that. There's one time where they're like, "God dang it, I should have done this different. I gave that win away." What's yours?
Go to him. Let me think.
About you.
about
Hell, go to
You
him.
did.
I'm trying to think.
I would say my-
Like
I'd-
regret?
I'd-
Give me
What's
an
yours?
I drove through my right front one time at Wake County with like 10 to go and lost a win there, and that's all. I lose sleep over it every night. I mean, I should have won the race by a mile, and I just blew through my right front trying to pass a guy. I was chopping a corner off and shit because it's so tight around there. But we won the next week, so I made up for it.
I feel like regret wise, like I can't think of a race where I did something where at the end of the race I was just like gave up a win.
Well,
But no, there was a couple times when I here's how I categorize my regrets. When did I get bitched out the worst? And when was like everything okay?
Yeah,
There's been two moments in my career where I thought for sure that I was done racing. One of them was when I drove over Shane for about 11th at Hickory. I monster trucked him coming to the Deckard. I mean, I'm talking like we were drove over. It was terrible. It
What
was
you doing,
absolutely
Landon?
terrible. It was horrible. I had marks on the bottom of my race, like literally the bottom of my frame rails. At that moment, I thought my dad was going to kill me. I really did. And then he made me walk all the way up to their damn hauler and tell them all I'm sorry. And the way Moffitt looked at me that night,
He still ain't forgot that.
he probably ain't.
No, I know he ain't.
And I still don't think it was my fault. And then one other time is when I first started racing. It wasn't a regret, but I just told Dad I was going to park the race car because I was hot. And he said, "Good, you'll never race again." And
in a race he said that? Or
yeah,
private?
Really?
no, in a race. I was
Wow.
14 years old. It terrified me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the scariest part is he's dead serious.
Me and my dad got in a pretty heated argument one time. So I was kind of thinking like, just like a mistake you made or something. But I guess this works multiple ways for a question. But one time me and Dad argued like hell. Like, I mean, I was in the car. I don't know what happened. We made a change or something, and I was mad as shit about what we did. And he came and asked me a question. I guess I smarted off, or I don't know what I did. But anyway, he called me an MFer. And that was the first time I got that. You know, I was 18 years old, so he was like, "Listen here, MFer, this is how it works. This is how it's going to happen." And I was like, "Well, yeah." And then I went out there and just,
damn
picked up
liberal.
to, yeah, basically. I mean, I was mad, and came in, and the guy that sponsored us at the time, he's a real good friend of ours and stuff. He's like, "Don't ever," like, he came to me and he's like, "Don't ever let that shit happen again. I won't be a part of this if you guys are going to fight like cats and dogs over it." And ever since then, we've just had a great time. Usually, everybody bickers, but like, so that was definitely, it's not really a regret, I guess, but it's just one of those things. So We gave y'all plenty of time.
Oh,
to think now.
Yeah.
we've never argued. I've always got, because I've never argued with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cause
I'm always
I
right.
can't-
Let's go and clear that up.
I can't argue with him. Okay,
I mean,
I did run over a
Right
lap
there
car
with
at
you.
Tri-County, but the brake pedal,
here we
little
go.
set screw came off.
it was the brake post.
You ask Jimmy Crouch, he knows if he's listening. And he cussed me, and I'm like, hey, damn, it wasn't my fault. I mean, it wasn't my fault. We had no brake. Anyways, but I've always got cussings, but it's always either GD, what the hell are you doing, or
Yeah,
But
I
I've
think
never,
that goes
I've
for all three of
never
us.
I've never argued with him.
I feel like when you get
I've
that,
never argued with him.
I mean, did you spot for him? Have you always spotted for
Oh,
him?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
my dad's always spotted for me whenever he was available, and it's just something about like I don't cross dad on the radio.
No,
And if I do at all, like in the slightest, he lets me know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm sure y'all are
yeah.
the same way. But
I'll just get down off the truck. I'll say, yon.
I think it's just like that for everybody. I think every kid that grows up in racing, there's like one person that they won't cross and won't fight, and that's their dad. I mean, there's obviously some kid.
Yeah.
I have seen. You remember that one kid at Hickory my rookie year? I don't want to say his name, but I'll explain. It was his like Willman something. It's like Willman Wilt. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they would. I don't know who it was, but I remember him and his dad would. They would come to blows every damn week. We'd park right beside them. They'd raise hell at each other. I didn't know.
If you argue with your dad like that, you ain't got no respect. For
Yeah.
him. You
And
got none at all.
especially not when you're racing and you
Yeah.
know what it goes into it, how hard both of you are working on your shit.
And
to
I'm
get
not
to the race.
sure if they
how
knew
hard I
each
work
other.
on.
Well, he
How
does.
can you get him here anyway? I can't even get into the shop to work on the car.
I'm too
I
busy.
can't even get him to go test. But you get him here on a radio show. This ain't right.
Yeah, well, you
It's
know,
2021
Yeah.
senior, I guess. Has
You
He's
heard-
right. I don't work on him.
He's
'cause
doing
I
the
can't-
media
I
stuff.
ain't no way.
Yeah.
I've been
Trevor
that way.
Townsend doing the media stuff.
yeah. So Tri-County Saturday night, we gotta let Dexter Senior go to bed. He's getting damn tired. But
Yeah, he might fall asleep on the
Tri-County
show.
Saturday night. You're racing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Any other entries that you can? Cause we can kind of fill everybody in on the big 4th of July.
it's Pepsi.
race.
It's Pepsi night, so it's one of the bigger races. They are adding, I think, $1,000 to lead halfway, so that's a pretty big deal. It's 100 laps. I'll be there in the GMS car. I don't know.
Ryan Middleton be there.
Yeah, Ryan,
he
because
coming?
Yep.
Hickory's not racing, so I assumed that him and there's probably a couple more from Hickory that'll show up.
I know Shane's coming.
They'll have 20 cars. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon
I think
Shane.
it would be 15 or 20. So it
Shane-
should be a good show. Should be one of the better
Shane
shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
Should be one of the better shows that we've seen all year here in North Carolina area. So I'm excited for it. I'm 100% sure that there'll be a good crowd. So definitely, if you're in the area, come on out. It's gonna be a good time. Support your short track racing. Like I said, Hickory's off, so you ain't gotta worry about picking and choosing.
Town
South-
should be every week.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
should be
I
one or
agree.
the other
Yeah.
every
I
week.
agree.
I agree. South Boston is running one of the Triple Crown races this weekend. It's the 4th of July race. I think they upped the purse on that.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what it's like 20 grand or something,
Yeah, it's a
15, 20
big,
grand.
it's a big
something.
race. We actually got invited to go there and have a show there.
Yeah, but
it
we-
was a little last minute. So
Yeah,
we'll
we
plan
already had something pre-made
We'll
for
plan
that.
something to go to South Boston one day. So we need to take Windshield deep there. It's one of the Mount Rushmore tracks for short track
It's a
racing
nice
for
place.
sure.
Yeah.
And I guess one other quick thing is have you guys been watching the SRX series? The
Yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Stewart,
yeah.
Ray Abraham deal. They raced at Eldora this past weekend. Tony Stewart won again, so he's won both, or the only 2 dirt
Both
races,
dirt
I
races,
believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
if Tony don't win at Eldor, there's something wrong.
Yeah, yeah. But it
Yeah.
was a pretty good race. Him and who finished second?
The ringer,
The
didn't
ringer,
he? Yeah,
the short track, not the
yeah.
ringer, the local hero or
Yeah.
whatever, finished second. So Paul Tracy's
his
3
name
for 3 on making himself look like an ass.
Yeah.
He runs over somebody or wrecks himself.
He
under-
really pissed Bobby Labonte off this time.
Bobby
Did he
Labonte.
Oh, Bobby was in his face.
Oh, he just killed. I mean, just destroyed him.
But Bobby
never
was,
lifted.
Bobby was borderline fighting him.
Yeah,
In,
he gave
in
him a
the
couple.
pits.
He gave him a couple tip taps. You know, like when it's just like a,
I thought that stuff was supposed to just be fun.
No.
I mean, there's points and
is
there's a championship payout. And all
Well,
that.
even if it, I mean, you know how, I mean, any racer ever, if you get wrecked, you don't get mad. It don't matter if it's at the damn Mooresville Motorplex,
Yeah.
Larry Pollard's Raceway, Hitcher
Yeah.
Motor Speedway, or Daytona. You don't get damn mad if you get wrecked.
I agree. That's a
And,
competitor in you.
Yeah.
they
So
go to IRP this weekend. So
they should have an SRX series for old heads at Hickory. How about that? Maybe the SRX series should donate a 20 car or 10 car field, and you and Max and maybe Tommy and Dennis. I mean, hell, that'd be a hell
Dennis
of a show.
has been in
I
the
talked
car.
to Dennis Sunday afternoon. I said, "Why don't you come out and race with us, Dennis?" He said, "I ain't racing with y'all. I done got wrecked last time I raced with your daddy."
Yeah, first of all,
I did windshield deep him.
yeah, yeah. So they asked us to come be a part of that, and after I watched y'all, I'm glad I didn't go, Chris. Damn.
He was mad because he didn't get a race.
I wanted to race.
I mean,
Yeah.
some Crown Vic racing, but
Shane
How do you
Falco
knock
said.
a snout off a Crown Vic?
Oh wow.
I figured out how to do that. didn't I?
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Dennis don't want to race because last time he
Oh.
raced with him,
yeah, he
deal?
killed him.
Yeah.
about killed him. About killed the guy in
so-
the back seat.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, start
There's somebody in the
ripping-
back seat.
Well, Doug Hauser's in the back seat when I was driving, and Tony Brownings or whatever.
Yeah,
she was
she
in
was-
the passenger side.
Yeah.
What the hell? I didn't know y'all had passengers
Passengers.
in there.
Dear
The
God.
guy that was with Dennis literally had to go to the hospital.
He
He broke something.
He broke something.
Holy shit.
Hey,
Davey Smart.
Dexter didn't come
Davey
to finish
Smart,
second.
that's
This
what it
time. He
was.
came to win the race.
I mean, it's
But he
whatever.
did. Now, hang on. Now, his Crown Vic was a police car, and their Crown Vic was a 4-cylinder. No, it wasn't a 4-cylinder,
I
but his was a police car.
Somehow or another, I had him killed on motor.
Oh, poor old Andy Houston still back there. He's still trying to run around there right now.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, we covered a lot of stuff tonight, guys. We really appreciate you guys coming on. I
Yeah,
know
for
it's
sure.
getting a little
It was
late, so we don't want to hold you guys up too late.
5 o'clock comes early
5 o'clock comes. God dang, you wake up at 5
every morning.
to go to work.
Fucking man.
To go to work.
You don't go to work till 8?
7.
Oh,
Oh,
well. that's-
well, I would wake up at 6:45.
He
Gotta let the cat in. 5 o'clock, cat wants in.
Wait a minute, you got an outdoor cat that comes in the morning.
He stays in the house in the day and he roams at night.
He's just a predator.
He's second, he works third shift.
So if anybody's lost a small dog lately, it's because Dexter Canipe Senior's cat mauled it. If you're in the Claremont area,
I've
It's probably a raccoon if you want to know the difference.
if you've
35
lost
pound cat.
if you've lost a small
my
animal, the last
Or a skunk. It looks like a skunk.
Dexter Canipe Senior is a host to exotic panthers.
Yeah.
He's got a bobcat.
He's got
bobcat,
a
yeah.
he's got a bobcat. You don't even know it.
No, we really do appreciate y'all coming on. It was fun. We've
Appreciate
had
y'all having us.
yeah, we've had Junior on before, but definitely wasn't complete until
I feel like
until we had you on.
depending on the result. Well, no matter how it goes, I feel like we got to have a rundown after you complete
I'll go ahead
Hickory.
and tell you now. I'm gonna run till I get tired and I'm gonna park it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully that's
Okay,
not-
first of all, there ain't no way you're parking the damn thing if you're in front of him.
Yeah.
I'll park him first, then I'll park.
One last question before we get off here.
Okay.
Is Hickory your last one?
At Hickory.
Okay.
Oh, leaving the
Stay
leaving it
tuned
open.
on that one.
Yeah.
And we'll see how Hickory goes.
This is his last Hickory race at Hickory.
I would love to
He's-
run Greenville.
He's got to
one
go
more
back
time.
to Greenville.
I'd love to run Greenville one more
Maybe-
time. I'd like to run Martinsville.
I'm
But
not saying.
he's got my seat for Martinsville.
Oh, well, so y'all heard it here first, folks.
No, it's not the last one.
Ain't done yet. So tune in July the 24th. Go watch the race, man. To hell with pay-per-view. Go to the racetrack and watch it. You get to see Dexter Canipe Senior race Hickory one last time. How many track championships you win there?
Just one.
Just one. So one track championship there, and Dexter Jr. is gonna be racing against him.
He's won about 10 there.
Yeah, Dexter Jr. won about 20 track championships at Hickory, and
Oh,
150,000
Junior Miller raced
races.
this past weekend, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah,
He did. He raced a modified.
Yeah,
Didn't he?
him
Yeah,
and Bowman Gray.
Bowman Gray.
Yeah.
He's 100. I'm 75. He's 100.
Yeah. Well,
He probably raced modifieds back when you raced, didn't
He
he?
did. I raced with him. Yeah.
all right, boys. Well, we sure do appreciate it.
Good show. Good.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us
Yeah,
on.
really,
fun.
really
Absolutely.
glad you guys came over. Not too far of a drive, but you know, we still, nonetheless, we appreciate y'all making the trip. We'll do this again. Hopefully, maybe after you, whenever you announce your next plans, we'll have another show or
And
something.
Everybody come out and get Dylan Wilson's decals. He
Yeah,
does a good job.
yeah, I
you do
appreciate
good.
it. Hit up One Wraps. We'll get stuff going. Yeah, the Llamas. We're going to the Llamas game Thursday night. Everybody.
We'll have footage.
We'll
yeah.
have plenty of
again.
footage. That's what's
Llamas
happening.
Day Hickory.
But anyway, we appreciate it. It's been real. It's been fun. It ain't been real fun. Live every day.